Headphones in. So I thought they were in. They weren't. Check 1 2 1 2. Welcome back to Her Point of View. Oh, that wasn't intentional. It just happened. Bars. Anyway, welcome back, or welcome if this is your first time. Hi, it's so great to have you. I'm gonna just jump right into it. This video, I felt led to just talk about overcoming. I think life is a series of overcoming things and becoming better at things and taking leaps of faith, not just once, but over time, numerous amount of things. But as 2021 comes to a close, can you guys believe we have 3 months left to 2022? It's like, what is time? Seriously, it's beautiful. I'm looking forward to 2022 only because I feel like I've been learning so much about myself, about myself as it pertains to others. So very important. And I've really just been focusing a lot, and I hope you all have been too, just focusing on ways to become better. Um, Accountability for sure, and diving deep on things that may not be the most favorable or easiest to, dive into, but are so necessary. I really appreciate and have come to appreciate the levels to growing more. And I heard something the other day that really spoke to me. I think as we get older, it's not about growing out in expansion, it's about growing deeper. And that really resonates and has resonated with me for quite some time. I feel like I've always been a sort of deep individual, not just things along or amongst the surface of things. So I've been doing a lot of journaling, um, just because that's just something that I've been wanting to get back towards. When it comes to writing, I really don't force myself to write. I don't really think that is an authentic space to force anything, whether it be passions, relationships, you name it, force. Mm-mm. Um, truly, truly appreciating things just coming together organically. And sometimes it's a bit of a challenge. And that's one of the things that I felt led to talk about today. My perspective is changing mainly from a place of love and peace, for sure. I am currently taking in more ways of how to truly remain in a place of peace. And with that being said, one of the most challenging ways to make sure that that happens is when I feel as though the universe brings me a test in terms of engaging with others, and not letting anything outside of me change that inner peace. So I wrote some things down that I wanted to share, just some topics that I felt led to discuss and want to talk about. Feeling guarded, isolation, being alone, taking time to identify, speaking on isolations, the pros and the cons of isolation. In tarot, we call that the Hermit card. I actually got my deck right here. Let me see if I can find it so I can show y'all what that looks like real quick. The Hermit. So, the pros and cons of isolation, and I feel as though I can speak on it because I've personally have had challenges with personal isolation. Isolation isn't always a bad thing, but it isn't always a good thing either. I think I'll start with the negatives and then end on the positives. I think the negatives of self isolating is one, you can become very comfortable in being alone. And not to say that that's not a necessary thing. I think being alone has its benefits for sure, and I'll get to that. But growing comfortable in being alone really can allow you to stay stuck in areas of your life that you deeply and truly want to progress in. And let's face it, if we were meant to be alone, would no one else be on this earth? It's about interdependence, not codependence, and not always independence. It's good to have independence, but within that independence, growing to a place of interdependence with others. A positive of isolation for me that I could lend to you all is sometimes you have to be alone. Sometimes you have to close the door from the noise that's going on around you to really hear yourself and to be with yourself. This is for my people who are constantly on the go, constantly thinking of what's next, what more, what else. And when you are on that hamster wheel and you're not checking in with yourself, by the time you look up, you may not necessarily know where to even check in at. And I too have had moments like that where when I finally sit down and have a moment, it feels like one of the deepest exhales you can take. And it's just like, it's such a gratifying moment because it's like the divine God, source, whoever you pray to, it's just like, thank you for allowing this time. Thank you for pausing life for a second so that I could just be still and feel me. I also wrote down the need of protection, which can be a coping mechanism in a positive or a negative way. It's not always good to, let me say this, it's great to want to protect yourself but not to live in a protective state and always feeling like you have to be in protective mode. If you are constantly in that space, how are you going to let anything good in when you're so constantly focused on keeping the bad out? Things can get overlooked, opportunities can be missed, and you're just left with, honestly, a repetitive cycle associated with isolation is the fear of judgment. I can definitely say that I have self isolated myself out of fear of judgment, out of fear of what people would think, out of fear of feeling inadequate, feeling like I should be at a certain level when I'm not, and really allowing that stress to weigh down on me. But the pro in that I had to remind myself is, one, if you're taking yourself out of an equation, that's good, that's great. But also know that it's completely relatable. You know, people go through things, people isolate, and it's okay. Take the time that you need, but know that you're not alone. You know, trust your path, because everybody's path is everybody's for a reason. No one person's path is supposed to look like another's. And it really kind of gets to me at times when I see people getting down on others about their journey and their path. And it's like it's a fine line between giving advice and talking down to somebody. We have to get to a place where it's respected, you know? But then again, it also depends on that person and how they perceive things and how they take things in. But respect is definitely at the forefront, because we just truly don't know what has made us, and looking at another, we don't know what has made that person who they are. Just the slightest thing could offset or trigger, or you know what I mean? And make no mistake about it, a trigger is an individual's wound that they are responsible for healing, of course. But it's not to be judged, and it's not to be made fun of. But everybody has journeyed through life in their own way. And you may feel like you're being bullied, but even the bully has had to journey their life through their way, and it's a reason why they are the way they are, and it's a reason why they convey things the way that they convey things. So again, it's all about getting to a place where you can grow and look at things from a place of love. And it's not easy, but it's worth it, and I feel it's necessary. I think once you get to these type of places, you can really make an impact on not just yourself, but for other people around you, so that they can, if not start their journey, at least get somewhat of a tip to make their day or journey or load a little less burdensome or stressful. And if there are young ones around you, if you're a parent, then that's all the more reason to want to better yourself, because you got little eyes on you and you want to instill greatness in them as well, so that when, you know, they get to these type of levels in life, they know how to address it. I wrote this. Can you guys see it? Oh, this little passage in my phone that I just wanted to share with you guys. The beautiful thing that life provides is its space to be a classroom. Every day we journey and are tested along the way. So let's face the fact that we all are students to some extent, just trying to graduate to the next level up. It's endless, infinite, it's generational, and destiny. For that, I am eternally grateful. Your angels can guide you through a darkened room to a light switch, but you must take the action to turn it on. Okay? And I'm going to end it here. I hope something that I said, I know it felt a little kind of ramble-ish to me, but I just wanted to keep it light and organic and speak to whatever came to me. I'm just a vessel with a message. So I hope that anything I said resonated with you. And if it did, make sure you hit that like button for me. It don't take much. If you watching and you got this far, like the video. If you didn't, dislike the video. Show me something other than you viewed it. For real though, no, I appreciate y'all. Keep it going and keep becoming the highest and best version of yourself. Okay, you are not alone. I'm right there with you.